Asante. Your Excellency, mimi sina mengi because of time. Just to welcome you to this great school. And as the governor has said, he was not the only lucky one. I know quite a number of members of parliament and other friends who have benefited from the intellect that comes from this great school of Mugoiri Girls. Your Excellency, let me just say you are a great inspiration to these young ones, not just in this school but in our nation, when they see you today serving as the President of the Republic of Kenya, and even affording time to come and spend time with them on a day like this. You inspire them to know that they can grow to be anything that they want to grow into after their studies, after working hard in school. Your Excellency, you serving us as the President of the Republic of Kenya, having come from the humble background that you came from, and knowing that hundreds or millions of our school-going children, especially those who are in our public schools, all come from humble backgrounds like the one that you came from, together with our Deputy President, and many of us, Your Excellency, is indeed a great inspiration. Your Excellency, in conclusion, your presence here today in a school environment signifies the kind of peace and tranquility that Kenya is enjoying today. And I must take this opportunity to thank you for having ensured that the people of Kenya continue to enjoy the peace and tranquility that they prayed for even as they went into elections, Your Excellency. Your Excellency, I know our police force has been vilified for the actions that they have had to take to ensure that there is peace and our country, law and order thrives. But I want to encourage you that the task force, Your Excellency, that you appointed to look into the welfare of our officers, to hasten in the work that they are doing, so that our police officers in this country are well taken care of. Well taken care of as well as they took care of the lives and property of Kenyans during these last 3 days, when those who are engaging in subversive activities tried to interfere with the peace and law and order of our country, Your Excellency. Your Excellency, let me also take this opportunity to ask those investigative agencies that are in charge of investigations. And I know even those of us in the Fourth Estate, we are very quick to vilify our police officers. But we fail to recognize that there are criminal elements that have taken advantage of the demonstrations that were called by those in the opposition. And we have seen even armed groups engaging our police officers with arms. Honorable Your Excellency, Mr. President, the day before yesterday in Kangemi, there was a group that fired at police officers. And we are lost at what the police are expected to do when criminals using firearms are firing at police officers in the disguise of demonstrations. Our police officers must be firm to maintain law and order, and we must continue encouraging them. And we ask the investigative agencies to make sure that the criminal elements that have penetrated these demonstrations, Honorable Speaker, as those who have called for the demonstrations, we hear they call for the demonstrations, and together with their families, some have gone to Mombasa on holiday, others are in Dubai, others are in London, as they leave young people to be battered in the streets and to fight with the policemen in the streets, Honorable Speaker. You know, Honorable Mr. President, Your Excellency, you know, we are used to addressing the Speaker in Parliament. So you should have said point of order, Mr. President, and I would have resumed. So, Your Excellency, the President, being the Commander-in-Chief, I want to encourage you that do not relent in safeguarding the peace and security of our country. And nobody should intimidate our officers who have done a splendid job in maintaining law and order. With those many remarks, Your Excellency, Allow me to now invite the Leader of Majority in the Senate, my brother Aaron Cheruiyot.
Asante. Thank you, Your Excellency, the President, Deputy President, leaders, and the girls of Mugoiri, and the whole school community. Naomba niwasalimu wote hamjambo. Well, Your Excellency, I have a very difficult task because the closer we get to you speaking, those of us that are speaking here, the more time we take. Maybe you are standing between us and the Scania bus for the school. So we'll try and be very brief so that we don't take a lot of time. Secondly, Your Excellency, is just to congratulate this school because of the stellar story that we've had the opportunity to read and learn of the growth, your growth as an institution, and the tremendous work that you continue to do. I wish you well, the students that have had the opportunity to study in this great institution, and wish you success as you prepare for your exams and all the work that you do in your institution. Finally, Your Excellency, just to say that your coming here is not in vain. Perhaps maybe, and I'll say this because I'm among the youngest of leaders that are here, many of you may have forgotten what it feels as a student to see leadership firm so that we can have sanity in our country. We cannot have a country, Your Excellency, where people fear to walk freely and go about their business. I want to request even our colleagues in the media to bear with our police officers, because I watched the news yesterday and I see the kind of criticism that is being leveled on our police officers without realizing the difficult work that they have to do. Some of them are facing hardcore criminals that are coming to them with machete, stones, and they are throwing them at our police officers. In fact, I want to challenge you as a media. The same way you are showing people that have been hurt on the demonstration, please visit Mbagathi Hospital and see the number of police officers that are lying in bed. Some of them have been cut, some of them have been shot at by criminals, some of them have gone through very difficult. Police officers are people's children as well. So as they do their work, let us give them the support that they need. The challenge about one or two that maybe have done one or two things that we don't agree with is a challenge that we have everywhere, because in every institution, challenges will be there. So, Your Excellency, stay firm together with your deputy as you secure the dreams of these young people by giving them a country that they can excel in. I thank you and may God bless you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Excellency. I now invite the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya to make his remarks, and I invite His Excellency the President. Welcome, sir.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, Dr. William Ruto, Your Lordship, the Bishop, leaders present, the Chief Principal, and the girls, God is good. And all the time. Hi, girls. Your Excellency, today I will not say anything because I'm in a situation that I'm not able to say much. I normally, I'm a truthful person. And the truth of the matter is that I'm very shy to face so many girls. So kwa leo tu acha tu, sababu unajua hakuna mtu hana weakness yake. We may look very strong there, lakini with all these girls looking at me, I'm not able to say much. But I heard the chairman say that I should take care of something on Sunday. I don't know what it is, but whatever it is, the way you clapped and cheered, it must be something very good. So whatever it is that he asked me to do, I'll do. Your Excellency, even I'm not able to face these girls, as I look down, I want to thank you on behalf of government and the people of Kenya for your leadership and strategic guidance in restoring sanity in our republic. Your Excellency, on the 13th of September last year, in Kasarani, before God and men, you took the Bible and swore to protect the Constitution, and in that very Constitution, there is a provision to protect life and property, and that is what you have done, Your Excellency. Kenya can now move forward, and Your Excellency, the decisions that you have made that have been ably implemented by those below you brings to an end the politics of blackmail in our country. The use of violence for leaders to force themselves into government. Your Excellency, the situation is now for everybody to know that the only route to government is only one, the ballot box. And that brings an end to that chapter, and we ask those people now to go back to the drawing board and prepare for the next general election in 2027. I want to say, Your Excellency, I want to encourage our officers in uniform, the gallant men and women who have lived up to their oath of office to protect life and property from criminals. We want to urge our officers to stay put and not to be bothered by unnecessary criticism. And if those people do not want the police on the streets, all they need to do is keep off the streets. Had they not come to the streets, our policemen would not have left the police lines. So they are the ones who have invited them. And I want to say the police are available for open invitation any day. So if you don't want them to have an engagement with them, please don't invite them. But don't sit there and imagine that you can destroy property, kill people, and then the police can come and kiss you. It will not happen. Tuongee ukweli. Wewe kama utaki muambiane maneno na polisi, wewe kaa kwako nyumbani. There's no policeman who will come to your house. So we want to urge our officers, and I particularly want to thank the Regional Commissioner Central Kenya, the Police Commander Central Kenya, and all the commanders, and all our security and intelligence committees within this region, the 5 counties, for a good job that you did to protect life and property and to restore hope to the people of this region. We want to say thank you. Our political leaders, I want to thank you in a special way, because you said you cannot remain in Nairobi when your people are being butchered and brutalized by criminals. And we want to urge you to take care of the people who elected you. With those very many remarks, I request you to be upstanding and help me welcome the President of the Republic of Kenya, Dr. William Samoei Ruto. Mr. President.
Basi, asanteni sana. Tafadhali tuketi.
Well, thank you very much for your patience. We had to wait, of course, to have the icing in the cake. And we're going to have now a very informal and frank discussion with His Excellency President Ruto. He told me to call him William, but I cannot do that. We are formally here, so I have to call him Mr. President. And this is going to be a frank discussion. I must start by saying I'm a little bit disappointed because my wife, when she heard that I'm having conversation on stage with you. She went and bought me a very nice jacket. And I said, I'm going to upstage him. Then he went and came in this, wonderful. Look at that. Anyway, so it didn't work. Right. To really start, I have really three sets of questions. Some of them are global.
Maybe before you start more,
Please.
You just said I said you should call me William, and you refused. Let me tell you of another incident.
Yeah.
I called the Secretary General of the UN, Guterres. So I kept on telling him, "Oh, Your Excellency, Your Excellency," and then he told me, "Please, you have to stop calling me Your Excellency. Call me Antonio. Otherwise, I will also begin to call you Your Majesty." So I stopped. So nowadays call him Antonio.
Okay. Still, I'm going to call you Mr. President. It's not appropriate. We are in Kenya and we are in a formal meeting, and I believe it's live on TV, I think. So that doesn't, it should not be right. So I was just saying that we're going to talk about some global issues, answer. As you know, most of our session today, or the whole conference, was about Africa and the world, our issue. And there were some wonderful speakers, amazing people, really. And I'm going to send you, I know you had other commitments, you wanted to come, but you couldn't. I'm going to send you the videos of these conversations because it's really good and useful. Then we're going to talk about the region, and then maybe a little bit about Kenya. So that's how we proceed, if you will. Now, you had been outspoken, traveled, and you make a statement about the global orders, about the debt, etc. Can you please tell us what is wrong with this architecture, the global architecture we feel, especially the financial architecture? What's wrong? Why are you unhappy with it?
Well, first, you must understand that the current global financial system was set up against a certain context.
Yeah.
That context has since significantly changed. And therefore, it is struggling. The current financial system is struggling to respond to the challenges of the moment.
Yeah.
Countries, the whole system was set up around overseas development assistance, a financial system that was focused on prescription from the World Bank, IMF, and the institution, and sometimes those prescriptions went the wrong way. There wasn't room for emerging, frontier, new ideas on how to finance development. And as a result, you find that the system has not responded to frontier economies, emerging economies. A case, for example, is what happened in Greece.
Yeah.
It tells you there is something fundamentally faulty with the current financial system. While it is true that you can get overseas development assistance at 0.5%, concessional facilities at 0.5, whatever, but when you need real development resources, you have to go to the global financial market because you want to run your own development the way you know how. You end up with 10%, 12%, 15%, and it becomes impossible. It becomes impossible to finance any meaningful development. Meaning that from the beginning, from where I sit, from the beginning,